Yo, what's up guys? PKSparkxx here. These are my A5 ranked matches I had. Normally whenever I'm playing online and I hit my ranked up matches, I like recording them, and these are my matches, so I figured I'd upload them. So here we go. So you guys already know I'm using Chandelure, and I was hanging out with just chilling while I was rendering a video playing Pokken ranked, and I had to go up against this Lucario, A5 Lucario. Now I've already known that Lucario is a really tough matchup for Chandelure, because so many of Lucario's simple moves just gives you an advantage over Chandelure because of how slow Chandelure can react to them. Example being, you're going to see this Japanese player use this move like 15 to 20 times. Bone Rush. That's all he uses. Is when watch him. He just walks forward. There's no Aura Sphere. Oh, okay, there's one Aura Sphere. But that's actually the reason why he used Aura Sphere then, because I didn't have Smog up. I put Smog up in field phase or dual phase so that I can block any projectiles that my opponent may want to throw. In this case, Aura Sphere. And then I can fire back with a laser, because normally I can punish that way. So it's like putting up a wall, and if they get a little bit too antsy, then it works out in my favor. But in any case, you're going to see this man, all he does is use Bone Rush. And it's such a ridiculously safe move for Lucario. And not to mention, I always told you guys right here, I complain about Chandelure's burst mode because it gets outranked by everybody else in the game. You guys can see by just him putting out Mega Lucario, I can't do anything. He just walks back and forth, there's no real mix-up, and then when I think he's going to go in for an attack, which many Lucarios do, I drop Overheat, but he just outranged himself, and then he popped his burst, and that was the end of that stock. I'm sorry, end of that game. After I had like a 200-point lead, Mega Lucario, or rather, Chandelure's burst is just so bad. Not only did I not have it, but it's like, if your opponent goes in a burst, and you're not in it, and you don't have yours, then you're at a huge disadvantage. Like, Chandelure's at a disadvantage against everybody. Look at that! His Bone Rush got him out of the way of the attack hitbox of Overheat, and then he hit me anyway. He beat out Overheat with Bone Rush. I hate this freaking move. It's such a silly thing. But I'm still putting up my wall. I can only do what I can. I was throwing out Will-O-Wisp, and I didn't have Smog up. He took advantage and used Emoga, and that was the end of that. So I'm like, okay, let me go for Overheat. Well, for some reason, he knocked me out of Overheat, but he didn't change the phase. So I don't know what happened there, because it wasn't even a charge attack. I know charge attacks can beat out Overheat. That wasn't a charge attack. That was just a regular attack, and it just beat out my Overheat. I don't really understand. Now, right there, I didn't go for, I actually should have put up the Will-O-Wisp wall, but instead, I just launched it because I thought he was going to jump, and I didn't want to get hurt. So he ended up going for Bone Rush again, and ended up taking me out again. Freaking, I hate that move. Lucario is such a safe, simple character to use. But in any case, this next matchup is going to be against Dayskill, a Gardevoir player. And I told you guys when I uploaded my video where I discussed my Apex 2016 experience, that because of all the worry I had going up against Gardevoir, I put a little time into learning that matchup, and I understand it now. And that was proven when I finally beat Apple Boom, arguably the best Gardevoir out there. With my Chandelure. Well, I'll say this, the best Gardevoir that I know. One could argue that Ouroboros is the best, and he's definitely a really good Gardevoir. As a matter of fact, earlier on this week I uploaded the best of 3 set against him, but that's neither here or there. My point being that I no longer have fear about facing Gardevoir, because I understand the best way for Chandelure to beat him, and that's by just playing reactively. Your opponent wants to keep you out and make sure they keep hitboxes up, because otherwise you're gonna run train right through any Gardevoir. So they have to put up projectiles, and when that instant comes, all you have to do is react properly. Like you guys saw that whenever an opponent in dual phase uses Magical Leaf and you're in the right positioning, you can catch him with a Hex every single time due to Gardevoir's ending lag. So if you're far away and you think they might want to do Aura Sphere, Magical Leaf, you just dash forward, put your shield up, and then when they hit your shield, if you're fortunate enough and they're in the range of Hex, all you gotta do is drop Hex, you'll catch them every single time. It's such a good punish. So it's effectively taking out one of the best moves. And then you also have to utilize a lot of counter cancels when you're facing this matchup, just because a lot of the projectiles can just go, pow, look at that, immediate Hex. But so make sure you are wary. Make sure you stay within range. You can even get a little closer if you want to play a little bit aggressive Chandelure. And just make sure you keep Smog up, because if your opponent throws a projectile and it lands on Smog, then you have an opportunity to just was it fire a laser at him or set up a little. It's a really good opportunity for him. Now, unfortunately, my guard is looking weak right now because, again, when you're approaching Gardevoir and then putting up all the projectile, there is a thing that's going to happen. All these, your guard is going to get whittled down fairly quickly. Fortunately, I am able to change the phase, and when you change phase, it actually resets your, your guard completely, like the health of it. So that was good for me. I also learned that little the jumping up X move, or jumping 8X move, where Chandelure spins in the air. I also learned to not use that and charge it, because your opponent can easily counter it, and then you just get punished easily. So if you're going to use it, either try to catch him on an aerial attack, or catch him when they're pushing buttons, something like that. But don't just use it when they're on guard, because you get countered every single time. But once again, I had him in the corner. I just backdash, corner with the hex real quick, and I do go 1-1 right now on this match, so we are looking kind of good. So I hit reset, and I end up getting a match against Dayskill again. And at this point, I checked Twitter, and because I was actually tweeting out about this, like tweeting out my A5 rank matches, about the results and all of them. But anyway, I found out from Twitter that Dayskill was actually streaming. So I went in the stream. I'm like, let's see what people are saying. So I was like, watching the stream chat while we were playing. It was kind of cool to just have that experience. But anyway, right here we get Teller Town, which I'm happy because it's the same stage of same size as Ferrum Stadium, and Ferrum Stadium is the mainly legal stage that we abide by. As a matter of fact, it is the legal stage. I wish that they would at least make stadium modes of all stages, so we could have different music, similar to Omega music in Smash Wii U. But I'm sorry, similar to Omega stages in Smash Wii U, so we get different music. But regardless, I am able to do what I want to on this matchup. I have a really tournament experience on this match. So you guys saw I used Overheat earlier, but I keep hitting it on shield because Dayskill is not as aggressive as other Gardevoirs I've seen. Normally when you get into that mid-range, that close mid-range I should say, because mid-range is where Chandelure lives, but close mid-range is where Gardevoir lives. But whenever you get close mid-range, they start pulling out their melee attacks. They'll use that little dash attack or the slide attack. However, Dayskill was really focused on out projectile me, which again, you can definitely do, but you have a much better melee range than Chandelure does. I'm sorry, melee game than Chandelure does. All of Chandelure's data loses out to Gardevoir's data when it comes to like pure melee attacks. As a matter of fact, all of my data loses out. It's just that my startup lag isn't as bad as Gardevoir's ending lag. So that's where I can punish, which is why that's the main focus for Chandelure players against Gardevoir. So just playing reactively. That was a good mix-up by Dayskill right there, going for the laser. I thought he was going to go for the second one again. So I went for the jumping laser, which is my punish option, but he tricked me and ended up tricking me and just got that mix up in, which was really good for him. So I went for the minimize, and I was wondering what should I do, because I'm trying to put in more options for my minimize. You don't have many options. A lot of people like to say, PK, use Smog a lot. Just because Smog is honestly the best option at times. Smog, it gives you counter frames in case they attack. They won't be grabbing because they can grab, but normally they won't because you are in the animation frames of minimize, I should say. So it's pretty safe for you, but at the same time it's also worrisome. I don't know, it's kind of one of those things where you just gotta hit or miss. But in any case, he does end up. I made a misread there after almost bringing it back. I should have did a jumping jumping laser from Chandelure, but instead I did a landed laser, and he jumped up, did magical leap, and he just heavily punished me and took that game. So we are now in game 3 here in my third set, trying to rank up to A5. And we get the wall splat. Hey, extra laser. Couldn't get a charged up laser. Chandelure, these are things I want from Chandelure. I wish Chandelure had some castable moves. I wish Chandelure had some, I love that that's a strong attack, so I can just like quickly approach my opponent if they're not expecting it. Oh no! Am I dead? Oh no, I made my guard up. Hey, shout out to the landing lag not being completely against me this time. I was hoping once he saw the Espeon that he would actually cancel that, because I'm sure I saw that he wasn't in range. So I'm like, okay, he might cancel the attack, and I think he can cancel that attack and just land, so I went for the Hex, but he just kind of went all for it. But after that Hex, I do take him down to 18%, and that was just a raw read. I was expecting him to jump up because that was probably his best option. go for that diving attack. So I anticipated that. He went for the landing attack anyway. I'm able to get the attack in, and we are now 2-1, trying to rank up to A5. A5. All right. So we get another matchup. We are now going up against Zaidi, a Charizard. Now, after Apex, and I faced Cloud, and I saw Cyberman, 65, I should say, Cyberman 65, I realized that Charizard's meta has evolved. Therefore, I am no longer sleeping on any Charizard out there, because I clearly need to learn this new Charizard. However, this Charizard I'm facing, I was thinking maybe he's sandbagging, maybe he went to a lower range just to play more players and practice, practice stuff, which, something that a lot of players have done. Even I have an account where I just use it as a dummy account to practice characters. But no, he was actually making really obvious moves that I know how to deal with Chandelure. He wasn't doing. The main issue about Charizard that I was having issues with is the flight canceling. Like when you're just going up in the air but then landing immediately, it makes it to where like a lot of Chandelure's attacks can just get beat out. So you have to use a jumping laser, or you have to put up a wall of Will-O-Wisp, or you have to like use a fully charged flame burst, which is the anti-air, but if it lands on the ground then it'll explode. If you fully charge it, it'll land on the ground and land. You have to use more you have to be a lot more careful, pretty much, is what I'm saying, against the new Charizard meta. However, Zaidi was not embodying any of that. You saw that I already went for you saw that I already got a perfect. He was so far away with Reshiram, I figured I might be able to get a laser off and to change phase, and I was absolutely right. He went for Flame Burst right there, but because I saw the animation, I just beat him out with the laser. So then I ended up going for the charge attack after saw him jump in the air, and I got to grab him perfectly. And then to prevent my double perfect and ranking up to A5, Mr. Zaidi DC. Yay! Ah well, I thought I had an easy win to A5, but instead we have a third match versus Dayskill, the Gardevoir player. So at this point, I'm sure my opponent is starting to learn how I'm playing, starting to learn a matchup between Gardevoir and Chandelure. It's not anything I want to take lightly, therefore I'm giving it my all as always, and I'm telling you right now, this is the best game of the set. Like the third games that we had so far, this is the best game. It's so funny. But in any case, I put up my small in case he wants to throw out a laser. He does exactly that, going for the flying arrow thing. But because he did it low ground, because he did it low to the ground, he ended up having landing lag. He hit the laser. He hit my smog. I hit him with the laser, and I ended up changing the face. Hex. Oh, I didn't hex right there. I guess I wasn't confident in it. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I'm confident in it. But Dayskill ended up. I went for the anti-air thinking, okay, I had the right read, but unfortunately the attack comes out so late. Him being so far away from Flame Burst, that I wasn't able to really capitalize on it. I did get the hit, however, I still got hit by him. And right then, if I would have jumped, then I definitely would have had that punish that ended up ending this game. I went for my smog, and I saw him charge up the laser, but now I know that a charge arrow from that animation actually saves you. Actually cuts through smog. So now I know this. I didn't know that before, because I'm like, yeah, I got him right then and there. Fortunately, he kept doing grounded attacks, and I do eventually get the laser KO, and that's going to be the first game to me. So now he has Sylveon Charizard. I'm still rocking with Espeon because he hasn't been really aggressive. I was contemplating going for Umbreon just because, like, it's a disrupt assist in case my opponent gets too aggressive, trying to attack me. But in any case, I end up mind farting. These projectiles right now, he is just putting, like, they're not doing much on shield, but he still was just holding me back and doing a little bit of chip damage, and that's what's important for him right now. So I closed the gap because, once again, I don't like the range that I'm at. And I double dash again, and that's one of those times where you just do the rawest of overheats, where, like, it's not really safe, but if you pull it out, then it's just like, dang, they just wanted that. That was just a mix-up, pretty much, is what I did right there. Drop overheat as a mix-up. I ended up getting it, because I did it because I had Espeon still in the back. That time I thought he was going to attack, but once again, he's not being the real aggressive Gardevoir that I've seen. That was definitely an option for Gardevoir to be aggressive, but instead he just opted to stay where he was. He got the grab in after I think I missed the overheat or something. Oh no, I missed my slide attack in. So right now, I put my guard in. I don't know why I put my guard up right there, and I look at the time, 12 seconds left. Excuse me, but I look at the time, 12 seconds left. And I use Espeon. Now I'm just trying to keep him in guard. Oh, 5 seconds left. He puts up solo and psychic out. So I should have waited a little bit longer, but instead I immediately popped my burst. He kept throwing out these projectiles on my guard. I wasn't countering. He ended up chipping me out, and I lost by 2 HP. So we go to a game 3. Rip me. Alright, so we're in a game 3. I just want to close this out so I can finally beat A5. I've been ranked B1 for such a long time, like about a month. So I am just like, please, let me just work this over and get to A5. Please, 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 please. Actually, random shout out to Catfight. His man actually became S1 ranked in Pokken in North America. Actually, ever out of everybody, he's the first S1 ranked player. So shout out to Catfight. But in any case, I went for the jumping Y attack, which is something that I need to use more because it's actually a really good option for Chandelure. Just to be able to jump and have a range attack that far, I gotta start utilizing that. So he ended up jumping, but whenever you jump against Chandelure, you're pretty much saying, hey, just laser me, because it's such a safe option for Chandelure when your opponent jumps in field or dual phase, except it's a lot easier in field phase because we normally have a lot of range. Now, what I want to speak of right there, because a lot of people like to call Chandelure a spammer, especially me, whenever I keep popping laser on my opponent's shield. But let me tell you why I do that. Right then, if you guys rewind, you're going to see that him and I were both in burst. This is game 3, so I wanted to take out an option of him. So not only am I keeping him in shield, but I am also eliminating the option if he has of going into Mega Evolution. Now, normally your opponent notices that, and they will go for, they will just pop their burst instead. They'd rather have their burst activated than have it, be broken because the shield is broken, which means that you lose like, probably 20-25% of your burst gauge. But instead, he ended up letting me break the gauge. So then burst was in my favor, but it wasn't in his. Now, you guys saw what just happened there. I ended up winning once again by timeout, once again by a little bit of HP. But regardless, we finally rank up to A5. Thank you! So, now we're going to be facing some really lame A5 players. No, not really lame. I'm sure it's going to be fun. But in any case, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If y'all enjoyed, demolish the like button for me. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the matches and anything you would have done differently if you are a Chandelure player or if you're a Gardevoir, Lucario, or Charizard main. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay hot, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.